Welcome back. It's hour number 2 now in the Kenny and JT show on this beautiful Friday. I say beautiful because anytime I get temperatures over 54 degrees, I'm happy with it. I don't care if it's overcast or not, as long as it's not raining. It's a little bit cooler today than it's been the last day or so, but hey, I'll take it because that means one of two things. It's either nice enough to get outside, walk your dog, or in this case, take advantage of maybe the best park system in America. And to talk about that right now, we like to have us join on the program, Doug Foltz. He's the director of the Canton Parks and Recreation Department. Good friend of mine, known you forever, man.
Right. We go back to the early 80s, in the city, like you said, working summer crews in the street department. So
I'm going to guess here. I'm going to say St. Thomas Aquinas class of 82.
Correct. Yes, you are. You're on the mic. You're good, man. You know your facts.
I remember. It's funny because, we talk about this a lot on the program. There's a lot of people, when you grow up in this town and you spend your entire life here, you'll have friends and or acquaintances that you'll know for so long that you don't have any idea why you know them or how you knew them.
Right.
So
right.
I was talking to R.A. Mallon 2 days ago. This popped into my head, and I knew Kenny was going to take the day off, and I wanted to talk about the Canton Park system and, more importantly, the recreation department, because as we knew growing up working for the street department, the rec department is who was in charge of all the softball fields. I want to start there and take it into the park system and everything else. So let's start with the softball fields.
Right.
Is softball still a big player in town? I remember every bar, every establishment in other businesses either had softball teams or fumbleball teams. Do they or no?
No, it's kind of diminished as far as numbers of leagues that we have, but we still have. Willick is a beautiful facility.
Mm-hmm.
We go back where, we used to run into each other in other fields playing there. Now we have that new complex. That's really one of the best softball complexes in the state of Ohio. So we still do women's league, class 3, class 1, co-ed through the year. We have a senior league that's coming in the mornings that want to use the facility. So there's still an opportunity for those that want to play ball. Yeah, and we're excited about that. Baseball, that's still around. We have 38 baseball and softball fields, JT. Wow. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
When I'll go by Canton Park by the numbers. It's really amazing what we offer our residents here, or people that want to get involved with our rec program. But that's still vital. Mighty Mites was run out of Babe Stern. We're still using those fields. So anybody that wants to get involved, our deadline is April 16th for league play. So you just got to get to our website, Canton Park and Rec, and follow our website from there to get involved. Get a sponsor, come out and have some fun. We have a lot that we offer. That's some of the things I wanted to push a little bit, JT, if you mind. We got Little Pups Golf that we're offering to Canton residents. That deadline's in May, and there's like 2 sessions, 20 kids to May 22nd, and 20 kids registration deadline is June 26th. And that's right there at Herbert Annex there, northeast end of town. That's a great place to learn how to golf for the Canton kids. So that's one thing we're offering.
First tee?
Yes, first tee, correct. Right now, speaking of softball, we got a great staff. And, like Woody Hayes said, you win with team. You win with good players. You win with good staff members. And we're trying to really rev up the Little Pup softball. We got coach pitch 8U and fast pitch 12U. Mm-hmm. And we're looking to try to get 2 teams. We're kind of in the middle there between 1 team and 2 teams. So anybody that's interested in that, you get a break if you're a city resident. Please come and register. Get on our website. We need about 4 or 5 more girls in every division, and we can put 2 teams together. And JT, you know what that means? That means more playing time for the kids that are on the teams.
Yeah.
So that's critical to get the kids involved earlier, so when they get to high school, they know how to play, like we did in baseball. You got to learn sometime, and now's the time to learn. You can't just step out there as a high school freshman and play softball. You can, but it's not going to be as competitive as you'd like to be. We offer Little Pups volleyball, Little Pups rugby, flag football. We have those youth fields over there at Old Don Scott. Canton Cheer. Sign up for those. We got 6, 8, and 10 programs there, and Canton Cheer for the kids. So get on our website, see what we offer, and get involved in the community. Get out of the house. So,
okay, so that's a lot of information. So we kind of jumped all over the place, but let's go back. Softball, golf, volleyball, rugby, football, even cheerleading. And you can join these programs by checking out the website. But what is that website address?
Okay, the website address is Canton Park and Rec. Just follow it there. And we have something called Rec Desk. It's a program that you can register on. And if you have any questions about it, the nice thing that just happened last June, we moved our offices to the Canton Garden Center. And I think everybody knows where that is. It's in the heart of Stadium Park. It's one of the most beautiful areas in Northeast Ohio. Everybody takes pictures here, weddings, graduation pictures, family gathering pictures. Our office is finally in this park. So if you need to come upstairs and register, we're open 8:30 to 4:30, 5 days a week to do that.
You kick Smitty out?
Yeah, Smitty's on the road. We had to negotiate that through the union, but yeah, Smitty is not actually being more productive out in the parks everywhere. So we're utilizing his skill another way.
That's good, though. So it's cantonparkandrec.org, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, .com.
Oh, it is the .com.
Yes.
Okay. So
cantonparkandrec.com is our website.
Give me that phone number.
Phone number is 330-456-4521.
4521. So you've got programs pretty much at every age. Does the city sponsor any softball tournaments for adults? You're talking about Willig Park, or is this basically a first come, first serve? We fill up these leagues and we just go from there.
Well, we used to do one with COVID last year. We had to readjust our schedule. I mean, the good thing with COVID is the parks were never more used as far as families getting out of the house, walking on our trails, enjoying our play equipment. Bad thing is it's hard to plan for, month to month. And so we used to have a city tournament, so to speak, or a Canton Park and Rec sponsor tournament with Kenny Groves. That got shelved last year. We're going to look to revive that next year, I believe. So, but we're looking to do more of that with the staff. We just need to get past this pandemic so we can plan better for everything.
Doug Foltz is the director of the Canton Parks and Recreation Department. There are so many great things, man. A couple of years ago, and I live in Plain Township, but as we all know, it's such a tight-knit community. From one end to the other, you can be in Canton in a blink of a second. In fact, I live right by the Gervasi trailhead.
Yes.
In seconds, I'm back into the city. And when we heard that they were going to be putting in these trails, I said, come on, man, we're not a big city. That's never going to happen. But lo and behold, you guys made this thing work, and it is phenomenal. And I tell people all the time, get out and take advantage of it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, find a trailhead. Again, probably directing people back to cantonparksandrec.com to find out where they are. But talk about hiking, talk about bike riding, talk about exercising, and how great these trails are.
Well, people don't know we have 12 walking path trail areas in the city that total 21 miles, JT. Wow. 21 miles. And Gervasi's one of them. You can go down to West Park, down there at 9th and Schroeder, and ride your bike all the way up to Arboretum Park. And then beyond, Covered Bridge Park. And then, we're working on laterals all the time. How do you get from there to over to Plains Center Road? That's evolving every year with plans. We got a great city engineer, Dan Meglin, that's on top of that too. And like you said, you park at Martindale, walk up to Gervasi. It's not even a mile. I just did it last week.
Yeah.
With my wife, Georgiana. We had a great time. There's something out there for everybody. And that's the thing I want to accentuate here a little bit or prioritize. Our Canton residents are so good to support this levy because 7-8 years ago, JT, we were out of the general fund. The city services are very important, but when you're competing with police and fire and street and the other departments, they love parks, but they were kind of last in line sometimes. So we couldn't properly plan for what we wanted to do. That's why it's critical now at this levy that we actually have $3.6 million a year we can count on through our levy so we can actually plan for capital improvements. Before it was like, we used to get $50,000, $100,000 a year. Now we hopefully get about $300,000 a year. So it's critical, and that's why we've been able to do so many great things here the last 5 years. Previous director did it with that park commission. I'm now in a fortunate position to do it in the future. So that's why it's critical, and that's why I thank the residents to let us be good stewards of your tax dollars. It's a renewal. It's not a new tax. Whatever you're paying now, that's what you'll pay if you pass the levy on May 4th, and we're hoping to do that.
You were paying it anyway. The last levy was what, 5 years ago? As the mayor said yesterday, that this isn't an increase in taxes. It's just basically an extension of what you're already spending, correct?
Yes. Whatever you look at, whatever you paid in February, that's what you're going to keep paying the next 5 years, more or less.
Okay.
February and July when you get your real estate taxes.
Upkeep, extending the park system. This all goes into the levy, and that is issue 2, correct?
Correct. Issue 2, right behind me. It supports 59 parks, 800 acres. JT, we have 11 parks that are over 100 years old. Think about that.
Wow.
And, and I just had the fortune of working with some great contractors at Monument Park. We redid that whole pond area. That was built during the Depression. It was public works dollars in the mid-30s. And we have pictures of ice skating down there in that shelter house.
Yeah.
And we had a great project. We spent about $190,000 down there. We had Coon Restoration, you had Wenger Excavating, Jeffries, and I had some talented staff. And we got it all done for $190,000. You could walk across that pond, before. Now it's like 5 to 6 feet deep. We're going to stock it with fish. We cleaned up the raceway. We cleaned up the trees. We made it a safer environment for everybody. We reset the barn stone. We created some stone areas, stair areas for landscaping to take pictures on. And I don't know if you had a chance to drive through there, but it's just a magnet to people now. I mean, they can extend, go through Stadium Park to Fisher Walking Trail, and then just walk right along the raceway up to McKinley Monument, and then maybe use the steps up there. It's a total workout course for you, and just enjoy it with your family. You're in the middle of nature too while you're doing it.
Doug, what are the hours of the park system, especially down there, going from Waterworks all the way through Stadium? Do they still shut down at dusk or whatever?
The gates are open all the time. Technically, the park is closed at 11 p.m. It's usually dawn to dusk approach, but we have lights at the Fisher Walking Track at Stadium. That's 1.5 miles, rubberized surface track that people use. Mm-hmm. And so we keep that open a little later.
Talk about safety. Now, is this policed by the Canton Police Department? I see that there are at times a park unit, but that's got to be Canton PD, correct?
Yeah, they've been on that through the union. We have one dedicated park officer, and then he has support if he needs it. But we don't have park police as we used to have years ago, and that's kind of changed the focus. But we still heavily rely on the expertise of our police department, definitely.
Talk a little bit about Mother Goose Land and what's happening over there, because as I've seen, and I've been on it along with my buddy Tim Horner, we ride our bikes, we go underneath the bridge.
You go underneath Tusk. Yeah.
How nice is that? You got how many courts are there for bocce ball?
Right. Bocce, unfortunately, is not used there as much as Weiss Park, and that's what we're looking to do. We're working on a study now to see what we can do. Monument's done. We're going to do some other improvements at Stadium. We've got the Gatehouse that just came back as far as a lease agreement with Mercy/Cleveland Clinic. So we got 4 years to help develop that, and just something that everybody wants to go in that place. You see this historic Timken Gatehouse.
Yeah.
You're like, what's that about? Why is it just standing there? We got to program that thing, JT. We got to make it nice, create a nice amenity with a patio. Maybe you can sell coffee out there, or just make it, some food vendors there once in a while. If you want to rent it for a small shower gathering or wellness, it has infinite possibilities, but we got to start by improving that and make it accessible to the public with a bridge. Mother Goose Land, we got Willie the Whale still down there. There's a mural on the walls, but I think that can be even more, but we got to plan for it. Put some capital down there and do it smartly. It's a flood zone, so it can't be the Mother Goose of old that we grew up with, but you can still put some amenities down there and make it improved. Definitely.
What is that Gatehouse? I mean, I grew up a stone's throw from there. We never looked in a window. We thought it was haunted. We didn't know we were in there as long as, like you said, you can never remember. What's in that place?
Well, it dates back to 1991. There was a family that lived there from 1955 to 91, and they worked at the hospital, and a part of their deal was they got to stay there rent-free with the sisters, Terry running that place, and then they lived there. But the origin of the Gatehouse is you came down 12th Street, from, say, Fulton. You crossed over to Park Road, and then you stopped at the gate. So you went, and behind, just north of the Gatehouse, there's a road that goes up to Mercy. That was the Timken Mansion. The Timken family has been, they've been incredible as far as what they do for the Canton Parks.
Sure.
There was no Serpentine Hill at the time when that was built. There was no road that went up there with that wall on the left-hand side for the cemetery. That's how you got up there. And Timken donated that The Mercy still owns, or Cleveland Clinic still owns the Gatehouse area, but the Timken family donated the property all around the mansion down for the garden center. The garden center's building their outdoor swimming pool.
Wow.
And then he built that wall on Serpentine Hill, and the stables were there. He gave us Westbrook Park right across the street. 26 acres over here, part of the stadium. They've given us a third of their parks, and that's the other thing I want to do at the Gatehouse. They need to be an historic perspective of the Timken family. All they've done for Canton, really. We wouldn't have the 59 parks, 800 acres we have without them. Definitely.
That's outstanding. Doug Foltz is the director of the Canton Parks and Recreation Department, joining us, giving us a couple of minutes of his time right here on the Kenny and JT show. Doug, I want to ask you about the picnic shelters in the city and all these park systems. How do we go about, is it a first come, first serve, or is there a rental fee for those?
Well, there's a rental fee. It's $40 or $50, depending if you get a kitchen area attached to it or a bathroom. Right now, they're still not available till the health protocols are eased off by the governor. You can't have gatherings of 10 or more. It's kind of unique, JT. We can have tournaments, but we can't have private gatherings in our show. But it's going to happen this year, hopefully. So gear up for it. But it's reservation. You call us, you get in. Some of them we might open up, just walk up use. But you think about it. Our mission statement is provide parks, recreational programs and events that enrich the community, provide recreational programming and memories that last a lifetime. I know going to family shelters or having reunions, we're always in the parks. Yeah. Think about what the parks offer for families growing up. That was always the case. And what's nice about Stadium, Monument, Waterworks, a lot of our parks, they're extension of your neighborhood.
Sure.
I hung around at Welsh Playground. That's where, I had supervisors down there at the time. Mm-hmm. I don't know where you lived. You were Northwest End guy, I think. We went down there and you had programming and, you went out, you ate breakfast, you played at the park, came home, ate lunch, and you came home and the street lights came on.
Yeah.
And it was a safe environment. And the parks are so essential to just getting the kids outside and using them.
Really?
Walking. But, look what we have. Pickleball. We got fishing ponds. We got disc golf up there at Arboretum and Spiker. 28 basketball courts, 30 play sets, shuffleboard, pickleball, tennis, you name it. Spray park down at Peel Coleman. Peel Coleman's been a renaissance for us. We took over management there in 2019. We dedicated a gym to Paul Martin, who was a longtime youth development director, a great guy. Went to Ohio State, McKinley, won state titles. The only guy at the time that won a high school championship and a state championship.
Wow!
When he did it in the state. So, but we're energizing that with great staff. We have 5 full-time members there. That's what your park levy also pays for. Mm-hmm. That facility and Babe Stern. And you know how long Babe Stern's been around. They've been the true community center. $300,000 of our levy dollars go to operating costs for Babe Stern. So we have a close relationship with those people in those communities.
The levy is issue 2. It goes on the ballot. When is that election? And what happens if it doesn't pass?
Well, I don't want to think about that. But if it doesn't pass, we're going to have to put it back on because there is no way the city of Canton can absorb a $3.5 million, department anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just don't have it. I mean, we have too much other infrastructure to do, and the departments have other needs. So I'd have to take a hard look of what we're going to do next. I'd hate to see it not pass. I think we've been good stewards of the tax. We didn't ask for an increase. We're not doing that. A renewal, what you're paying now, not a tax increase. And just look what you get for it. That's what I want to tell people. Look at what you have. Look at all the improvements that have been made the last 5 or 6 years.
Right.
Over $2 million in park funds have been spent on infrastructure. And you can see it driving around town. And if we haven't gotten to your park, you're next. It's not just the north. We're not just taking care of Stadium Park. We got Weiss Park. We got parks in northeast, southeast, southwest end of towns. We're taking care of all of them. Whether new play sets, swings, you name it. We're trying to update them all.
I'm a huge proponent of it because I take advantage of it. I love the fact that we've got these walking trails, these bike paths, the exercise, everything else. And a couple of months ago, and we had him on the program yesterday, but Clark Bartram, when he was on with us a few months ago, talked about it. He lives in San Diego. I don't know if you're familiar with Clark or not, but former Marine, graduated from Timken, lives in California. He's basically a fitness guru. And he even said, he goes, look, I've lived in San Diego most of my life, but Canton has something that we don't have in California. And what it basically was was a fantastic park system. So that's kudos to you, your staff, everyone in the city for realizing the fact that this could happen and making it as good as it really is.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the future. Like I said, we always got something we want to do. I'm here a short time when we all talk about our lives, our careers. Let's create memories for people. Let's feel good about our parks and our city of Canton, the neighborhoods. And we're an extension of that. And I just can't be more proud of the direction we're going. But a thank you to the residents who support us or it wouldn't happen.
Well, you know what else too, Doug? During the pandemic, they tell us, like you said, don't congregate with a lot of people. But if you're going to do something, go outside and do it. Go walk your dog. Go take a bike ride. Take advantage of our fantastic park service.
Right. Just look at 22 years of holiday lights in the park. That's always been a give back. That's our miniature Ogilvy Park. Everyone drives through there in the winter. Right around Thanksgiving through January. Come out and enjoy it. And we're going to expand that this year. We're going to do the bridges. We're going to put more electric in. It's just something exciting. That's our give back to the community. Drive through. It doesn't cost you anything because you're already paying for it. So let's make it even better and nicer.
Outstanding. Issue 2, it goes on the ballot. What's that date again?
Yeah, it goes May 4th. Absentees come out probably next week at some point, early April. And I got one thing to ask you, though. A guy named Johnny Jackson asked me, said, Duff, you can't run it. So, I'm going to let you think about that,
He's never been able to run it, tell him. I know who that Johnny Jackson is. Good friend of the program, too, as you are as well. Doug Foltz, Director of the Canton Parks and Recreation Department. Doug, I want you, before we turn you loose, give that website again and give us your phone number. So if anybody has any information, needs any information, they can go directly there. And remember, these parks are here for you.
Exactly. Our website is cantonparkandrec.com. Our phone number is 330-456-4521. And then listen, we got to be a little bit levy driven here for May. So we have a Facebook page, Canton Park and Rec issue 2. Get on there. If you want to sign in your yard, you want to comment on something, please look that up, see what we're doing. We have a lot more information on that, and so we're always updating it. And listen, my door is always open for advice or discussion points about the parks. I love meeting with people and see what they want to do. I'm down here with the pickleball players half the time, just walking around. I just love the activity in the park, and we can always improve them. So please, I welcome any advice you want to give us. I know
you got to get to a meeting. I want to thank you for joining us today. A lot of great information, and we'll continue to support on our end. If there's anything we can do, don't hesitate. Get a hold of us here on the Kenny and JT Show. Doug Foltz.
Thanks, JT.
Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you too, buddy. Take care. All right.
Doug Foltz, Canton Parks and Recreation Department. We'll get a break in right here. Come back with more of the Kenny and JT Show.